Thank you for tuning in to K-Bill TV, the K-Lux Coaching Podcast, a space created and dedicated to reinvention geared towards self-love, self-advocacy, and self-confidence. This platform was designed and created for everyone who needs to develop a healthier mindset, debunk limiting beliefs, create boundaries, better organization, better relationships, and manage the stresses of navigating this life. So get comfy, grab a pen and notebook or your favorite digital note-taking app and get ready to take some notes on how you can apply these suggestions in your everyday life. Thank you for tuning into my channel for this very first episode of K-Lux Coaching, the podcast. If you're new here, welcome. It's your girl K, certified life coach, lover of all living things, and survivor of life. Please like, comment, and subscribe. But more importantly, I just would like to hear your thoughts in the comment section. If something in this episode resonates with you, or if this message has helped, healed, or influenced you in any way, then please feel free to let me know down below in the comments. That's what I'm here for. Don't be shy. Now let's get right to it. I'm going to start this off by giving a shout out to my cousin T. I don't think he knows that what he said to me really stuck, and it's the reason for this podcast. One day we were having a conversation, and I was telling him, I said, I done been through some things, and I don't know whether it's just that I don't look like I can be taken serious, or maybe people just look at me and just make an assumption like, oh, that girl ain't got no wisdom. But I do. I said, I don't know what it is, but I need people to listen and receive what it is that I'm saying, because I have a lot of wisdom to offer. And he told me, he said, Shawty, the only thing I can tell you, because that's how he talk. He said, Shawty, the only thing I can tell you is to put it in a book. And that set off a light bulb in me. I said, you know what? That's a good idea. Because a book would generate the people who were interested in the message. You know how they say your vibe attracts your tribe? I do believe in that. But I said, not only a book, I'm going to do a podcast. And since, of course, I've been certified in life coaching, and I said, now is the time. I'm going to do this. So shout out to T. Sometimes those conversations that you have and that message that you pass on to people, it really sticks and it makes a difference in their path. So speaking of paths, we want to make sure that you are on the right one, which brings us to the title of this episode. Rediscovering you. Are you who you want to be, or are you who they think you should be? Now, that's a question that we all need to ask ourselves. Are we who we want to be, or are we becoming who we want to be, or are we being influenced by others of who we should be? A lot of times we'll wait until we get out of a relationship to boss up. And I'm not judging, because I've been there. I've been in a bad relationship, and as soon as that relationship ended, I got myself together. I picked myself up after I had fallen apart, and I rebuilt myself. I rebranded myself. I bossed all the way up. And even though that was a good thing, it gets you to thinking, why does it take the end of a relationship to put that battery in your back to want to just boss up and do better? You should want to boss up and do better all the time. That should just be who you are. Meaning you shouldn't have lost yourself at all when you were with any one person or two people, however you swing it. But you should have never lost yourself. You should have always kept yourself up to a certain standard. I don't know why it is that most people wait until they have a breakup or a falling out to want to be their best selves. You should continuously be in the mode or mindset of being your best self at all times, with or without another person. So I wanted to touch on that. Don't wait for a breakup to boss up. Boss up now. Be your best self now. Be who you've always wanted to be. Now is the time. Okay, so you may say, well, how do I find out who my best self is? I don't even know who it is that I am. I don't even know what it is that I want to do. Journal. That's where journaling comes in. Journal. Talk to yourself. Write to yourself. Figure out what it is that makes you excited. What it is that makes you smile, make you laugh, and then do more of that. Do it all the time. Do it in your sleep. Make it a part of who you are. Because sometimes, and it's normal, sometimes we get into these sad or depressed modes and states and we kind of stay there. But that's not living. That's not life. If anybody ever told you or gave you the impression that to be sad or down or upset or worked up all the time is living, I'm here to tell you that they lied to you. Okay? You're supposed to be smiling most of the time. You're supposed to be happy most of the time. We all have our ups and downs, but life is to be lived in a happy state, not a depressed state, not a down state. So if you're there, please do the work to pull yourself up out of that. Get around some good people. Like I said, find out what it is that you like to do. Do more of that and make it a priority in your life. Make it a priority. Start by making it a priority in your day. Do it first thing in the morning. For example, I love to read. I'm such a nerd. So that is one of the first things I do to start my day. I read, whether it's a devotional, it can be a hard copy book. It can be an audio book, something that I'm interested in. I always start my day with a good read. It could be a chapter of a novel that I'm currently reading. Anything read is what I do first thing in the morning because that's what I love. That's what makes me smile and gets me going. So find your why and do more of that. You can also be multifaceted. You don't have to just do one thing. I love reading, but I also love taking care of animals. I do that throughout my day. I love getting massages. I get those regularly because I love them so much. And then I also want to mention that you got to do the things that are just good for your body, just good for your mental health, even though you may not like doing it. For example, after all this time, I still do not fully enjoy exercising, but I know that exercising is good for your health, is good for your mental, so I have to do it. I have to get it in. A lot of people make the mistake of coming up with all types of excuses of why they can't exercise. Yes, you can. Get it in. Do that walk. Do that jog. Do something. I want you to incorporate just a little bit of exercise into your day and build up. Maybe start with 5 minutes of exercise. You might say that's nothing, but it's something. It's more than not doing anything. And then the next day, do 10 minutes. Next day, do 15 minutes. Next day, do 20 minutes. And bam, that's all the daily recommended time that you need, 20 minutes a day. Do that because that is also going to set you up for success when it comes to bossing up. And whatever it is that you do like to do, it's going to boost that. You need your physical health and your physical body, I want to say, to enjoy the things that you like to do. And if you are disabled and you can't use your body, then figure out different ways to use your mind. That's also a muscle. Use your mind. Use what you have. Whatever it is that you have, I want you to exercise it because that is going to boost you and push you and give you more happiness to be able to do the things that are going to help you to boss up and become a better you. Also, my last point, and I want you to think about this. Are you who you want to be, or are you what somebody told you you should be? Think about that when you're journaling and trying to figure out what it is that you enjoy to become your best self. Because sometimes we get caught up in the things that people say, and people are going to talk. People are going to talk. They're going to give their opinion. It's going to mean absolutely nothing when you are sure of yourself and who you are. You'll learn to just tune it out and let it be background noise. But people are still going to talk. They're never going to shut up. So I want you to think about what it is that you like, what makes you happy. I keep saying this, you, because sometimes we take on what other people have said and we put that in our mind. But if you think about it, who said that to you? Is that person worthy of listening to? Do you want to be like that person? If the answer is no, then don't listen to what they have told you. Don't let anyone else encourage you to be something that you really don't want to be, and you're doing it to please that person. Because at the end of the day, who are they? Think about what it is you want to be and work towards that. If it's a thing that's going to make another person happy, but it's not going to make you internally happy, then you don't need to be working towards that. Let them work towards what makes them happy, and you do and work towards what makes you happy. That's how we're going to carry that. I just want you to know that people, I can say it a million times, are going to talk. And some of them are nothing but talk. They don't even hold value in what they say. What they say doesn't hold any merit. You ever talk to somebody and they're going on and on and on and on about something, and you remembered everything that they said, and then the next time you have a conversation with that person, you're saying everything that they told you and they don't even remember what they said? Yeah, that's because people gonna talk. They're gonna run their mouth because they have one. A lot of times people are just trying to impress. They're just saying things and regurgitating things that they've heard other people say. So you can't really let that stuff get to you or sink into you or think that it holds any true value. You have to learn how to take what you need and leave what you don't need. Okay? If you feel like it's a piece of good advice that's useful and it makes you feel good, keep that. If it doesn't make you feel good, throw that away. But the most important takeaway that I want you to take away from this episode is I want you to rediscover you and who you are and who you want to be. What makes or what will make you your best self, and work towards that goal of becoming him or her. Thanks for tuning in and experiencing K-Lux Coaching, the podcast. I'm your girl, Coach K, and until next time, be safe, take care of yourself first, and be blessed.